I am a huge lover of live storytelling. It's something I enjoy doing myself, and it's something that has so many educational benefits. I think is an excellent thing to include in a child's education. So I'm here today to tell you why I think it's such a good skill to practice with your kids. First of all, what do I mean by live storytelling? I mean that when you hear a traditional story told aloud, or you read one in a book, and then you remember the key points in the story and you tell it back in your own words. First of all, you're practicing active listening. Your brain is sequencing the events of the story as you hear them. And then you're using your memory, your active recall to tell that story back. Live storytelling helps the storyteller to internalize narrative structure. And that leads to a confident writer who knows how to structure a text. Vocabulary. Children will hear new words being used in context in the story. And then usually I find when they come to retell it themselves, they'll be using a lot of the same language. Although they're picking their own words, a lot of that language will come through. So they might be hearing new words in context and then using them accurately in context just a few minutes later. And that's an excellent way to make sure that you remember what the words mean and that they enter your active vocabulary. It's also fabulous for composition skills that are linked to writing, because you're not memorizing a script when you do live storytelling. You just remember the events of the story, but then you have to choose your own words to get the information from your mind out into the world. And that is one of the many skills that make up writing. Writing's a lot more complicated than we sometimes think. It involves lots of separate skills, and live storytelling is a really good way to practice the composition aspect of writing without all the pressure that is sometimes associated with getting something down on a page. And finally, live storytelling is just fabulous for speaking skills. Technical things like pace, intonation, monitoring the interest of your audience, which, by the way, is really hard over video. I hope that you're not bored already. Also for self-confidence, because the child isn't having to think, oh, what shall I say next? They already have the story in their mind, so there's a lot less pressure. You might find if a child really enjoys a story, they're quite keen then to tell it to their friends or to other adults that they know as well. So those are just some of the many educational benefits of practicing live storytelling. If you want to get into it, this is the perfect time to get started, because you can join my first series of free live English lessons created especially for home educators. We're kicking off with a storytelling unit on traditional winter tales. Follow my page, Homemade Words, for more details and updates, and come and join me on the 25th or the 26th of November for fun with some traditional winter tales and for the chance to learn how to do live storytelling for yourself.